on a family court matter, they appointed me a public defender. For,
what did you do? Were you beat up your kid or something?
No, basically, my ex-wife made a complaint of obstruction of justice. I had a court hearing. I won the judgment. The mom is an attorney. She doesn't do family law, so she hired an attorney. And they appealed the first judge's decision. So I have court on September 5th. And she's basically doing this because she's relocating to Fresno, California, and I did objection to relocation, but right now she's trying to get full custody any way she can.
So what do you got family court for? What is the allegation?
The allegation is that I allowed my son to play with arms when in fact he was playing with an airsoft gun, which is BBs, plastic BBs.
Who said that he was playing with a, who could possibly care less what your kid was playing with?
And
your
the
wife?
thing is, the ex-wife, and she, on the parenting plan, it says that the child is not supposed to be around weapons or arms, firearms or weapons. That's basically what it says. And the thing is, he was nowhere near firearms or weapons. He was just, he's 6 years old, and he was playing with a 11-year-old with a paintball gun.
What I'm trying to say is, who said he was playing with a weapon?
Nobody said. Oh, he told his mom that.
So somebody had it. What? Who said he was playing with a weapon?
So his mom basically says that the child told her.
Who said he's playing with a weapon?
My son told mom that he was playing with a paintball gun.
Okay. The child told his mom that he was playing with a paintball gun.
Correct.
Okay. So what does this have to do with anybody in the public? Why should anybody in the public give a shit what your kid is doing?
And that's the thing is that I got caught.
Are you charged with a crime? I'm saying, are you charged with a crime?
No.
Okay, then what the hell are you going to court for?
Because mom has made a complaint that I failed to comply with the parenting plan.
What parenting plan?
We got a parenting plan when we got divorced in 2011, and it states there that there should be no firearms with the child, and mom says that I make disparaging remarks against the mom, and in fact, it's the other way around. Her and her husband are the ones that on email are always making disparaging remarks.
Wow,
and got all that.
You've got to learn how to be a man someday, real fucking soon. You got to learn how to fucking tell anybody in the public, say, look, this is my fucking damn property, I'll do what I want. But I guarantee if you go into court and you don't know how to fucking be a man, you start running your mouth like that, they'll grab that fucking child from you in a heartbeat and give it a hug.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you got to know how to play the game from the beginning to the end, and you sure don't.
No,
you
I don't.
sure don't. You sure don't, because anybody, it's only up to you and your wife how the hell this is going to come down with your kid. And anybody else is considered a third-party interloper. Anybody else who sticks their fucking nose in it, you're going to hold them liable. But you don't have no fucking clue how to do that. So just kiss their ass, and just say he was playing with a fucking feather dust or whatever the fuck.
Right.
Yeah, you better learn how to fucking get these people off your fucking back. And it ain't going to just come with one little letter. It's a lifestyle. If somebody came up to me and said, are you sticking your nose in between me and my wife's affairs? Are you trespassing? This is private, buddy. This has nothing to do with the public. Oh, well, I signed a contract? Oh, well, you know what? Yeah, I don't wish to live under that contract at this time. At this time, I am not fucking under a license. I'm not under a contract with any fucking public entity. This was in a private. I'm doing everything in a private. My kid did not have a fucking gun out in the public anywhere. What he's doing with me in our private is none of the fucking public's concern. But when you start allowing your house to be open and run as a public venue, that's your fucking problem. That you don't know how to enclose your fucking domestic fucking and maintain your domestic tranquility.
No, I don't.
You don't know how to tell them to stay the fuck their nose out of your fucking house. You leave your fucking front door open, tell the government, come on in and inspect it and check it out and make sure I'm doing everything okie dokie. That I'm living up to the terms and agreement that I made with some fucking ridiculous public entity. Because I'm not man enough to control my own shit, my own house.
Yeah, that's basically
So right
what
now,
happens.
you've got to play their game. What I'm saying is you've got to play their game. Because you got yourself into that game, and you think, and that's the only game you know, is that you actually allowed somebody to actually tell you what you can and cannot do, and you actually signed something.
Right. What is it? A parenting plan in August of last year.
Isn't that lovely? Let's all sit around and sing Kumbaya and sign a parenting contract. You need somebody to fucking tell you how to be a dad?
No, of course not. I've never seen a government come in and feed my child, wipe his behind.
Your great-great-grandfather lived in a mud hut somewhere. He needed a parenting plan?
Oh, no.
That bird that flew across, like I said, in England, that cricket, that worm, that ant that walked across the parking lot, it needed to be governed? No, it knows what to fucking do. We don't eat our own children. If I don't need the government to tell me what I can and cannot do with my kids. Believe me, the Lentzes go back tens of thousands of years. And if we were a bunch of crazy bastards that ate our own children and beat them to death, I wouldn't be here to talk. Because my great-great-grandfather would have beat the shit out of ate his child. And I wouldn't be here today. So obviously we don't need the government to tell me how to raise a fucking kid. My great-grandfather lives in a fucking mud hut somewhere in Germany in the woods. I think he got it covered.
I agree.
Yeah.
And see the thing.
To back this off. Like I said to people all the time, only two good things could happen. The economy could totally collapse, and all the state and central governments go bankrupt. And there is no more mommy state. There is no more daddy state. And you fuckers are going to have to fucking take it on your own like your great-grandfather did.
Right.
That's like when the federal government closed down when I was in England last year. It closed down for what, 5 weeks? Nobody fucking cared. When these governments close down, you know what? Nobody's going to fucking care. Everybody's going to say, holy shit, you know what? We don't need them to tell us how to be a parent. If we're not living up to the terms and conditions of this parenting contract, there's no more state agent coming to my door and taking my kid away. And guess what? My kid's going to be okay. Mommy could jump up and down and say, he's not living to the contract. He's letting the kid play with a paintball. And the government is going to say, we close for business, lady. We can't do anything. I guess you and your husband better figure this out on your own. Oh, no, you got to help us, man. We can't govern ourselves. Oh, no, you got to. He's not living up to the agreement.
See, the sad thing about it, the sad thing about it is we pretty much are governed to think that way from school. I mean, and the thing is that, I'm Hispanic. I grew up, born in the States, grew up in Spain, grew up in Mexico, came back to the States, and you're just educated to follow law. Who owns the schools? Government does. Who gives you this legalese terminology? Government does. So when you agree to, do you understand? You've already basically stuck your foot in your mouth.
Well, why in the world did you do a parenting contract?
And the thing is, I didn't know any better because my ex-wife placed a no-contact order against me, making all these allegations against me. And since she's an officer of the court, they believe it.
So why did you just take the orders and say, lovely, fucking put it in fucking writing and sign the damn order?
But the thing is, I was not aware of Talkshoe or your, I didn't know that there was.
You didn't know if you ordered 37 pizzas with pepperoni for the Super Bowl Sunday. You didn't know if you ordered something that you had to pay for it.
See, the thing is, I was ignorant to a lot of this legalese thing, so I just started.
This isn't legalese, dude. I don't care if you're a black kid who's 15 years old living in a ghetto somewhere. He orders 37 pizzas from the pizza place. He places his order. He knows he's got to pay for it.
Correct.
Don't tell me legalese. If somebody ordered you to do something, well, I'm gonna create an order. I'm gonna create a restraining order so you can't see your kid. Oh, lovely, create one. Please create a motherfucking restraining order. And you're like, oh no, she's gonna create a restraining order. Oh goodness, oh my God, no, not a restraining order, dude. You create whatever fuck order you want. And as soon as you hand me that fucking order, and as soon as I start fucking carrying out that order, I'm going to demand fucking compensation. I'll demand compensation of $1,000 a minute.
Yeah, but the thing is, like on one of your postings, you basically said that you wanted to learn a lot of the. You started from Black's Law, Volume 1 through 6, I think you said.
That's right. I did a dictionary. I didn't learn this shit from a book. A 15-year-old black ghetto kid knows when he orders pizza, he's got to pay for the damn order.
Yes.
I didn't learn that shit from a book. I wrote a damn dictionary. So when those fuckers tried to talk, when the legal society tried to contact and communicate with me, I could snap them back on their ass and say, oh, is this what you're trying to tell me? Is this what you're trying to say? No, I think you mean this.
Right.
And then they'll say, oh, shit, is that what we mean? Yeah. Look, I did this to write a dictionary.
I was looking for that dictionary on your, I think I started with the common law, but now that I know that you have a different website, that's one of the things that I was looking for, and I couldn't find where to purchase the dictionary. That's
right, because I'm not done writing it. I showed the people in England. It over on like a big projector that we had. I said, here's the letter K, here's the letter T, and now here's the letter C, and I started running through the letters. I said, here, let's stop here. Let's talk about this word.
Yeah,
this is what they're speaking to you. When they speak Chinese, when they're speaking legalese to you, this is what they mean. This is their word. This is what they're coming at you with. So when they say this fucking word to that you say, oh, really? So who's that fucking man who's going to be held liable for fucking saying that I have to comply with this? Who's the man? And they'll say, well, the judge said so. Oh, really? The judge is a man, right? Yeah, okay. I want to talk to the man. Well, no, I'm not going to talk to you as a man. No, you're going to talk to me as a judge, right? No, you're not my judge. You're not my fellow man, and you're not my creator. Only God judges me or my fellow man. You're not my fellow man? No. You're not my God? No. Then don't try to judge me.
Okay.
Right. I wrote that dictionary. I got all those stupid words from all. It's not just Black's Law. I got it from way back in Cicero's time. I got it from Coke. I got it from Littleton. I got it from what's the guy, Rousseau. I got it from John Locke. I put all these theories down. I put all these words down. It's like, when they start talking to you, this is the crap that they're fucking trying to tell you. This is the bullshit they're trying to blow up your ass. So when you hear this word, this is what this word means to them. This is what the word you means to them. So when you hear them saying this, it's not what you think it means. This is what it means to them. So you say, oh, yes. Yeah. That's why I wrote it, because you guys
from the IRS.
Right, because you believe you got a letter from the IRS. You got a letter from a man.
In the you part.
Yeah, you got a letter from a man.
Right.
A man created that letter. The IRS did not create that letter. A man created that letter. A woman created that letter. That's why I wrote that damn dictionary the way I did, because you people are getting caught up in their bullshit words, and they sound like what you think they mean, like the word suffer. You think that word means what it means, but according to them, they're speaking legalese, they're speaking Chinese, it means totally something completely opposite of what common man thinks it means. They're fucking with you with these words, and these are the words you got to watch out for. That's why I wrote it. I didn't use those words. Right, I didn't use those words to write their paperwork. When I write paperwork, it's 2 sentences long. That's not the way they do it. They write paperwork that's dozens of pages long. They'll use citations. They'll say, oh, according to U.S. Code Title 28, Section 16, subsection F, this is what it reads. Oh, really? Tomorrow they're going to change the code on you. I think it's every 6 or 7 years they change the United States Code.
Yeah.
Yeah, great, lovely. So I'm going to keep up with the code? I don't fucking think so.
Right.
It's not my damn responsibility. And I don't have to, and I won't. But they want to teach you that that's what you got to do.
Yeah, they expect us to have. Remember all these 2 million.
And I'm not doing it. I'm not wasting my days. I'm not losing sunshine and daylight to concentrate on that crap. It's pure crap, and they know it. As soon as you write something back to the United States of America, they realize you don't have a fucking clue what you're doing. As soon as you write something back to the IRS, they understand, you don't have a fucking clue what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you know you're totally clueless. But somebody could say to me, Crown, what's Crown? I don't know what the fuck a Crown is. What's IRS? I have no fucking clue. What's the United States of America? Fuck if I know. I never met them. Never saw it, never touched it, never smelled it, never tasted it. I got no fucking idea. I believe it might exist somewhere in some dimension, but I've never seen it in the third dimension. Where does it exist? I don't know. In the hearts and minds and dreams of men? I don't fucking know. Can I touch it? No. Have I ever talked to it? No. Have I ever seen it? I don't think so. So how could I owe it a debt? I don't fucking know. How could I have done it wrong? Fuck if I know. Why does it come into an open court and tell me?
You're asking me?
No. It's rhetorical.
Okay.
And this has all come from a guy who's all full of fucking transmission, fucking rear end gear fluid, fucking grease up to his elbows right now, laying on the floor. This ain't rocket science, man. This isn't what I specialized in. This isn't what I wanted to do in my life, is talk to people about law and how to act like a man and say, that's not a man you're talking to. You got no duty and obligation to speak to it. It doesn't exist. Only in your mind it exists. Tomorrow they could change the name of it. The IRS could get sued by whatever. It could be taken over by the United States. They say, you know what, you guys are out of control. You're doing a lot of crazy things. We're going to abolish the IRS. And everybody's going to go, yay. People from Canada will tell you. How many times did they get rid of the CRA, the IRS of Canada? They'll tell you 3 times they got rid of it, called it something else. One time it might have been called ARC, then RCA, now it's CRA. But every time that they abolish the IRS or CRA, it was like, hip, hip, hooray. You know what? They just come back the next day with something else. You guys think you fucking took down a fucking Goliath. Yay, we took down a fucking monster. Yay. Yeah, they just pop back up with another name. And then you guys, it's like game on all over again. You guys never learn. They give you a little victory. It's like, yay, CRA is gone. Yay. They collapsed it 3 times. Yay. They should make it change its name 3 times. So what? Still does the same shit. You guys are going to say, yay, they got rid of the IRS. You guys are going to party and fucking dance in the street. You're going to fucking orgasm all over this shit. Next day they're going to come back with something else. Call it RSI instead of IRS. Wait a second, it's the Revenue Service internally. Oh, really? I thought we got rid of them. No, you got rid of IRS. Well, wait a second. They came back bigger and better. Yeah, that's right. Now they're really going to fuck your world. It's unbelievable. You guys are thinking that you're taking down the IRS. Like, yeah, we won. Woo, we beat the CRA. Yay, we got rid of that evil CRA. Yay, they no longer exist. Yeah, they came back next week under another name. Same old bullshit. You guys just got to learn how to be a fucking man. That's all it is.
I'll do that tomorrow, God willing. So when it comes to the family court, I'll just play along?
No, you go to family court. When you go to family court, you just be a pussy and kiss ass and do everything they fucking tell you to do, because you ain't fucking got a clue how to fucking take them on.
No, it's because right now the judge basically ordered that I get a public defendant.
Good. Right now you ain't got a fucking clue. Right now you ain't got a fucking clue what to do. The best thing for you to do is just suck their ass and bend over as hard as you can. But you ain't got a fucking clue. You do anything right now, they'll yank that kid away from you so fast it won't even be funny.
Yeah, because I'm already under.
That's right. You got no clue how to act like a man. And until you know how to do it from beginning to end, you certainly don't mess around in a family court when there's an ex-wife who's just begging on the sideline to suck their ass harder than you could suck their ass. It's a battle of who could suck the fucking family court's ass harder. That's all that fucking game is.
Right.
And whoever puckers up and sucks best fucking wins. See, that's what was good about the mother of my kids and me. We weren't playing this fucking game with them. We weren't going to fucking draw sides against each other. We weren't going to do it. We were going to come at them together. And that's what was funny, is every time we came into a court or came to talk to lawyers, they're always like, wow, we always see husbands and wives against each other. Like, no, we're not against them. We're against the government. We're not against each other. She didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, because I got a 16-year-old with my first wife, my first ex-wife, and I don't have these issues like I do with my second ex-wife. I mean,
yeah, that's because somebody put a bullet in you. Somebody put a gun. That's because your second wife put a gun to your head and told you to fuck her. You bred what you stuck your dick in a woman that had this ability to do this shit to you, and it's your fault.
Yeah.
You didn't check her out. You didn't check her out good enough.
I didn't, and I had to learn it the hard way.
That's right. Look at this one guy who was crying on my fucking show one day. It was hysterical. Mark probably listened to the show, crying. Yeah. Saying, "Oh, my wife left me and she won't let me see the kids. It's what she leave you for." I was like, "What did he leave? What did she leave him for, Mark? Do you remember?"
It was pot, right?
A $20 bag of pot. I said, "So your wife left you for a $20 bag of pot, and she's making it so you can't see the fucking kid, and you, for some reason, you thought that was a good idea to stick your dick in a woman who's going to deny you access to your kid for $20 worth of pot? She doesn't think the kid needs a dad. No, she's going to teach you a lesson, jonesing on her taking the $20 worth of pot and not sharing with her. Yeah, that's the fucking kind of woman I want to fucking breed with children with. She's really got her act together. She's really doing the best interest of the child." That show was funny than hell. That guy was crying like crazy, and all of a sudden at the end he was like laughing his ass off. He was like, "I guess that was pretty stupid of me to fucking," I was like, "Yeah. You really must have checked her out big time before you decided to jump in bed with her, huh? You really must have thought that one through."
Yeah, that was my mistake there.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it happens. It happened for a reason. Maybe that kid's supposed to grow up and be the next pope. Who knows? It's just like with my mom and my dad. My mom and my dad, they were a one-night stand. Boom. My sister popped out. Boom. They were never meant to have kids. They were completely opposite sides of the tracks. I don't even think they knew each other's first names. But if they didn't do what they did, I wouldn't be here today.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and dad didn't even know each other from a hole in the wall. Oh, well. Thank God that they weren't too picky because I'm here. Like I said, you never know what your kid's going to be, so you don't say, "Oh, my God, I can't believe what I did." Because, even though the woman might be interesting and you might be interesting, your kid might turn out to be something body important someday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful. I thank God for my kid every day, and I pray for him. And I pray for his mom, too, but, I mean, it's just one day at a time.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I just try to tell people, sometimes you can overthink these things and plan for a kid, and next thing you know, you're 50 years old, and you still don't have a kid yet because you just want to wait for the right woman, the right time. Right. You want to make sure your house is paid off. You want to make sure you got a good job. You want to make sure you got a retirement package going. So you keep backing off before you have a kid. You know you're 50 years old.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is I'm not really, I mean, God knows that I'm not really resentful. That's I'm just trying to make sure that, I could still have access to my son because, of course, I've already agreed to a parenting plan. And if I would have known better back then, I wouldn't have done it. I mean, I look at it this way. I feel blessed that I was able to run into your show just by reading a lot of terminology in Black's Law Dictionary. And I was looking online on YouTube for instructions on common law, and all of a sudden your website came up, and I was like, "Oh, this guy sounds interesting." So I just decided to look into that. I think it was through that other website, that Uncommon Law. And I was like blown away in the sense that the way you handled a lot of court issues, I was like, I've never heard a guy basically, I thought in the beginning I was like, this guy sounds sketchy. So I started comparing the types of laws that were out there, and I was like, whoa, you know, I thought the justice system was not as corrupt as I really found out it is.
Yeah, well, it's just a monopoly. That's all it is. They're getting to the point where they fear nobody. That's all it is. It's not so much corrupt. It's just a monopoly.
Yes.
It's just like if you Coca-Cola and Pepsi merged, and there was no more. They took 95% of the market. There was no more competition. They could start sticking mouse droppings in the soda pop and say, well, if you want soda, this is what you got to drink. It's like, but there's mouse piss in it. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Sue us?
Right.
Sue us. We don't. You got to get no soda then.
Yeah, because nobody's forcing you to drink it.
That's right. And that's the same thing that I'm trying to say when they go to court. If you want to deal with these corrupt bastards, man, or like the corrupt agencies, like I had to deal with social services like that, 6 out of the 10 fucking women in social services were good. They really gave a shit about kids and tried to help us. The other 5 were just pure fuck. The other 4 out of 10 were just pure evil.
Yeah, I did look into that one about your son being born with what is it, Down syndrome, I believe it is.
Yeah, Downs. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the government was forcing you to enter an agreement, or else they wouldn't release your child. And I believe that's the first one that I believe you were getting. Somebody was interviewing you, and that's how you said you started, and you basically dug into a lot of your reading, and you said you grew your hair, your nails, and all that. And I was like, wow, this guy really made an effort in educating himself in how to. The big thing was when they started with me the very first day back in 2001. I said to them, "Are you trying to tell me what I cannot do with my property?" I already had that concept in my heart and my mind since I've been a little kid. That whatever I produce, whatever I create is my property. If I create money, if I create wealth, if I go to work and put green dollars in my pocket, that's my property. And nobody has the right to fucking make a claim for my sweat that came off my brow. Nobody has the right to claim one damn dime that I created. Nobody. It's that simple. It's my effing property. It's like, oh, CRA, IRS. IRS what? What did IRS do for me to create that money? What did it do? Did it feed me? No. Did it house me? No. If I owe anything, I owe it to my mom and dad. I don't owe anything to any fucking IRS or CRA or anything else. I don't owe a fucking dime. Show me where it gave me. Show me where it provided me a service or created a product in which it tended to me, in which I have yet to pay for it. Show me. It did it. So I don't owe you anything. It's that simple. I already knew that. So like I said, when I hit the dictionaries really hard, when I went to the library, I said, you know what, I am going to put together a dictionary. I said to myself, you know what, I am going to figure this out and use their own words against them. When they try to open their mouth in an open court, I'm going to make them eat their own fucking words. I'm done. I'm done with these bastards. I'm done with them fucking going to court and talking all hoity-toity and thinking they're so fucking smart and so much better than me. I'm going to fucking take their words and cram it down their throat. They open up their mouth in court and I'm going to slam them. That's what I did. That's what I spent 2 years doing. That I did not study code. I did not go there and study case law. I did not go there and study, Section 26.3. I did not study their silly shit for 3 years. Yeah, I guess I was going the wrong way.
How am I going to take their words, manipulate them, twist them, and use them for my advantage? How am I going to fucking make them eat their own damn words? Oh, you want to say that in court, buddy? Say it. Watch what I'm going to do to you. Open your mouth and say something. Watch the spin I'm going to put on your fucking word. I'm going to show you what your own fucking words mean. And you don't even fucking know what they mean yourselves, do they? Okay, well, watch this. Watch what I'm going to fucking do to you. That's the only thing I said to myself. That's what I got to do. I got to make them eat their own fucking words. If they want to say, oh, yeah, really? Is there a contract? Well, yes, there is. Oh, where is the contract? Is it here? Well, no. Are you coming after me in a code? Yeah. Well, where's the public law? Where's the law? Where's the contract between the people and the government? Where is it? It's not present in this court, is it? No, it's a code. Bring the law before the court. Who created that law? Bring the law creator here. When you bring that law creator here, show me where I'm liable. Show me where that creator of that law fucking could hold Karl Lentz liable for not complying with the law that he created. Show me how he created it on my behalf. Show me. And I'll comply. And I'll consent. And I'll fucking tender payment or I'll tender compensation. But until then, back the fuck off. Or I'm going to hold you liable for making a false claim. But like I said, it's the same thing that happened in Bali when I went over to England for helping those Punjabi people out. Same thing fucking happened in that case.
Yeah,
I went there and just thought, they gave me 4 more charges against these people. Terrorism, stalking, communicating threats, putting paper into the public from a trust. Dude, they could have put 5,630 fucking 5 more charges on him. I didn't care. I didn't care. If you were sitting in court and all of a sudden now they charge you with terrorism, stalking, communicating threats, kidnapping. If they start charging with all this crap, you'd be shitting pickles. I said, you know what? I said to Bali, I said, it would have been nice if you fucking people told me that you got all these other charges. I said, honestly, I don't give a shit. They could pile on 500 fucking more. I don't give a fuck. This thing's going to be over in 2 fucking minutes. What? Because they ain't going to have no man to ever fucking come forth and fucking make a claim that they could prove that you've done anything wrong. So let them just fucking spit their shit out for the next hour or two. Just let them read out all the charges. Let them fucking tell their story. Great. When it's our turn to talk, they'll say, yeah, and so what? I'm sure everything that man's saying is true. I don't give a fuck. It's not part of their little society. I'm not bound to the jurisdiction of a fucking legal society. Is that the legal society coming after me? Is that the Crown? Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Am I a member of the Crown? No. Then how could you hold me liable? How could you have jurisdiction and control over me? Guess what? You know what? You can't. This is England, right? Yeah. This is common law still, right? Yeah. You fucking can't. Man is still supreme here, right? Yeah, yeah. Man still created the government here, right? Yeah, yeah. Man still created Crown, right? Yeah, yeah. I'm still that creator, right? Yeah. Great. And who the fuck is speaking on the other side? Nobody yet. Anybody ever going to show up? No, I don't think so. Discharge this fucking matter. Discharge all this matter before the court. You're wasting everybody's time. That's all I got to say. I was done in 2 minutes.
Wow.
There's nothing to do. Dude, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
You're battling Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy.
I know, but
you guys are
I'm
fucking
already
crazy. You're fucking crazy.
I've already, like you said, consented.
You can always withdraw consent. God consented to be a fucking frog. God wished to be a frog. God said, or Zeus came down and Zeus decided to be a snake, or Zeus decided to come down and be a cricket. Then guess what? He said, you know what? I want to come down and I want to be this for a while. I want to be a defendant. I want to be a licensed driver. I want to be an aardvark. And guess what? Then all of a sudden he says, it's no more fun being an aardvark. It's no more fun being a cricket. You know what? I'm going to go back and maintain my status back up in fucking Asgard heaven or fucking Olympia or whatever, and I'm going to fucking go be a god again. I'm going to be the creative man. Yeah. I'm going to be the creator of my fucking government again. You guys just don't know how to fucking act like a man. Because you guys don't have no... You know what it is? It's because you guys have no core belief that there is a God. No, it's that simple. No, you don't. Dude, you can tell me. Dude, you can tell me. Dude, you can tell me all you want. And I'm telling you, when you really fucking believe what you really fucking say you believe, it comes natural. Until then, you're guessing and stammering and trying to figure it out. When you totally live like a totally godly life, you got it. If you've got a little hesitation or a little doubt, I'm telling you, you're going to fail. It's all or nothing. You've got to be all in. There's got to be no hesitancy, no doubt. And then they know you fucking know what you know. Until then, you're like, well, I don't know. Maybe if I die, maybe I don't. Maybe I'm not sure. Well, who really created God? Well, then how did God start? You guys are still fucking doubting Thomas's. You're still like, I don't fucking really know. And you're guessing. And they could see it, and they could read it. They could read your doubt. They could read your confusion. They could see your trepidations. They could see your fears. They could smell it. When they see me, there's no doubt. It's like, this guy's got it. He's got a core belief. There's nothing we're going to do to ever shake it. He's got a conviction. He's got a belief. Nobody in the government can fucking tell a man what he can and cannot believe. You know why? Because man created me. Man created the government. He knows his fucking shit. We're going to knock this guy off his status, his position. We're not going to do it. He knows he's in the image of God. He knows he's in the image of the creator of this fucking court. He knows man put brick by brick together, built that fucking courthouse, not the legal society. A man did it. Man controls, not a legal society. If you believe whatever Buddha or Muhammad or Jesus Christ or whatever the fuck your legal society, whatever you were led to believe, oh well. You can't break out of Muhammad's belief or Muhammad's grip or Jesus Christ's grip or legal society's grip. Man, my motherfucking problem. You want to live and die by Muhammad? You want to live and die by Jesus? You want to live and die by legalese? Go for it. It's just a belief. And your belief is just as good as mine. And you got no right to judge me.
True.
And that's all and the court knows. That's what they're dealing with. Don't even try to judge me.
Now I know next time I walk into the courtroom without signing their next court appointments.
I'm telling you, man, it's a lifestyle. You guys ain't going to get this on a piece of paper. This isn't a fucking trick. This isn't a sideshow. This isn't a fucking one-trick pony. This isn't like, oh, I just do this, this, and this. Haha, I got it. No. Once you do this, you got it for every single fucking thing that they could ever fucking throw at you. Like people say, oh, Carl, he doesn't know how to do traffic court, or Carl doesn't do IRS, or Carl doesn't do family court, or Carl can't do maritime law, or Carl doesn't do admiralty, or Carl can't do contract law, or Carl doesn't know commercial law, or Carl doesn't know UCC. Yeah, I do. I know it all. It's easy. Who created all of this? I did. Who gets to determine how my life goes? I do. Who governs me? Who steers me in what direction? Me. I don't care what fucking law. I don't care what Bible. I don't care what belief you throw at me. I don't give a shit. I got my own. I'm not interfering with yours. Don't interfere with me. You walk your side, I'll walk my side. And we'll do just fine. Man's got the right to be let alone. If he doesn't want to intercourse, you can't make him force him to intercourse. You can't force him. He says no, it's no. He doesn't want it, he doesn't wish to, he doesn't wish to. It's that simple. All our laws are based on contract. All voluntary contract. All of it. IRS, everything. It's all voluntary. You guys don't know it. Oh, well. Harry Reid said it about 100 times. I tell everybody watch that Harry Reid video where he says it's all voluntary. What part of this did you guys... Harry Reid did a video on YouTube. Some poor kid, like somebody like a Mark, went in and talked to Harry Reid, clean-looking kid, went to talk to Senator Harry Reid, and Harry Reid said all IRS taxes, paying the taxes to the IRS is voluntary. Absolutely.
Well, yeah,
the kid kept...
I did.
Yeah, it's all voluntary. Yeah. Harry Reid was not lying. He was not bullshitting.
And so did Ron Paul said the same thing.
That's right. And then the kid said, but if I don't pay the taxes, I go to jail. He said, absolutely. But it's voluntary. Absolutely. But if I don't pay my taxes, I go to jail. You damn right you do. But it's voluntary. Absolutely.
Got it.
Not one time did Harry Reid lie. Not one time did he mislead that kid. That kid just didn't understand his own fucking words that was coming out of his own fucking mouth.
Right.
You guys don't understand the words that are coming out of your own mouths. What's justice? You're like, I don't fucking have a clue, but I've been charged with this since the 12th of July, and I couldn't be bothered to fucking Google it or read it or research and find out what the fuck they're trying to tell me. But tomorrow's court, I guess I'll find out then. That's brilliant. What a strategy.
No, what I did is spend most of my time is looking at ordinance, statutes, laws that are already, like, for example, Miranda rights, things like that. And I just wasn't informed in reference to how simple it is.
Yeah. Just if they say if you went to a restaurant and they charged you with a pepperoni pizza and they charged you for ordering ordering a side of fries, and then they charged you with obstruction of justice. When you ask the waiter, hey, on the menu, hey, what the fuck is this? I remember eating the fries. I remember eating the pizza. What's with the justice, man? And the obstruction.
Right.
And who's charging me? Because they're going to be held liable. Because I'm telling you, I didn't fucking do this. Who's charging this onto my fucking credit card? Who's charging this onto my bill? Who's charging this onto my order? Who's charging me with this? Who's charging me with? I got the fries. I ate them. Okay. I got the pizza. I got that. It's justice shit. Oh, fuck, you better not bear the burden on me. You better not charge me with that. Because I certainly know I didn't fucking do one of those.
Yeah.
Why don't you just fucking ask? If you don't fucking know, why don't you just fucking ask?
Yeah.
Instead of playing, you're so fucking smart. I got no problem walking into the fucking court saying, I got no fucking clue. I'm a complete idiot at this now. Now you guys are way above my head, man, above my pay grade. I ain't got a fucking clue. You tell me. What did I do? What did I do wrong? Well, nobody's saying you did anything wrong, Mr. Lentz. Oh, really? So what I did was right? Well, no, we're not saying what you did was right. So what are you saying? Oh, what I did was illegal. I'm sure breathing right now is illegal. I'm sure they created some law in the UN somewhere that I can't breathe. And what are you going to do? Hold my breath and give a shit what the legal fucking society decides what a man can and cannot do? You do know you're talking to a man, right? You do know legal has nothing to do with a man. You do know that, right? It has to do with somebody who's a member of the legal society. You do know that. Did I do something unlawful? Did I break some, natural law? Did I break, the law of some other man's right to exist and be let alone? Did I break one of those laws? No. Then how am I joined to you? How are you trying to intercourse with me? How are you trying to get joined to here? Where do you believe that you can control me now at this point, other than you got a gun? Other than that, how do you believe that you have some sort of control over me? What did I do? Well, you didn't do anything. Well, then what the fuck am I standing here today for? Well, what you did was illegal. I can't. One more time, I'll speak legalese. I'll speak Chinese, Cantonese, Vietnamese. Is there anything in the law that requires I, a man, to fucking speak legalese, Chinese, Cantonese, or no. Okay, well then, good day, sir. And I don't need an interpreter. Thank you very much. Am I incompetent? You better believe it. Is there a law that says I have to be competent in legalese? No. There's no fucking language of this land. English isn't the mandatory language of this land. Legalese certainly is not the fucking mandatory language of this land. Every man does not have to speak legalese. Every man does not have to speak English who walks upon this land knows the United States of America, the North American continent. There's no official language of the land. And it's certainly not legalese. And I certainly don't need an interpreter. I certainly couldn't care less if somebody from the legal society, the legal land, is fucking telling me that I fucking did or did not do. I don't give a shit. What makes you think that you have some sort of joinder here? What makes you think I'm a member of your legal society? I'm not pro se. I'm just a man. And I don't accept any other titles at this time. And you can't force a title on me.
I have too many titles.
Yep, that's right. That's right. I'm burdened with too many as it is. I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a nephew, I'm an uncle. You know, I got way too many titles on my plate right now. I can't handle one more. But thank you anyway. It's a lovely offer. I'd love to be a defendant. I'd love to defend the heavyweight championship belt of the world. But you know what? I'm just not in that condition right now to defend such an honor. I'm sorry Muhammad Ali died, and you need a fucking heavyweight champion of the world, but I'm sorry at this time I can't be him. I can't be it. I just don't have the capacity. I don't have the ability to do it. If I try to do it, I'm going to get hurt.
And you know the interesting thing that happened to me in this last, it was a pre-trial. They waited till everybody was out of the courtroom, and I was the last person there. And I was surprised because I was wondering, wait a minute, did they call my name already? Because I haven't heard my name. And they waited till the last minute because they knew I was the same guy who basically was going to show up, and we had requested common law jurisdiction. And and they basically told me that, it was kind of, I felt like this guy was kind of like telling me, if you don't agree, it was more like, because there was already a warrant for my arrest.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I had a...
What?
I'm sorry?
Yeah, so what? Somebody's got to issue the warrant.
No, there was already a warrant because two officers
went
to
the warrant?
the library.
Who issued the warrant?
I don't know. I would have to find out.
That's right. Why not?
Find out.
Why can't you care less?
I would have to go to the prosecutor or find out with the court clerk to see.
Go to the court clerk
to
say who issued this warrant. Who issued this warrant?
Okay.
Yeah. Only a man can issue a warrant. A judge can't. A prosecutor can't. A man's got to put a pen in his fucking hand and issue the warrant. Issue means like you created it.
Right.
Who created this thing? A judge did. That's like saying a bowling pin or a frying pan created it. That's ridiculous. A judge doesn't have a hand.
It's the man, correct. So I have to find out what man...
Right, a bird. A bird could judge whether or not it should eat that flower seed or shouldn't eat that flower seed. A bird could judge something. A dog could judge whether or not he's going to chew on that bone or not. A judge is a judge. What kind of judge? Judge of what? What's a judge?
Right, and that's one of the questions I had earlier.
You mean a man picked his man? Right. When they say a judge issued the order, really? No, a judge issued it. You mean a man or a woman put a pen in their hand, and a man or a woman created that document? What is the name of the man or the woman that created that document?
Right, that's what I was asking in reference to file a claim for trespass because some man issued that warrant.
Well, why don't you find out who did it first before you just start throwing claims all over the fucking place?
Yeah, I have to find out tomorrow.
Yeah, that you should have found out the day that you found out that there was a warrant issued. You say, "Oh, lovely, there's an issue. Oh, there's a warrant. I love warrants. Can you please give me the warrant?" Just like I did when the sheriff came to my sister's house back in 2007. "Oh, warrants. I love warrants. You got a warrant for me?" No, it's your sister. Wow, really? She's got 2 master's degrees. She's squeaky clean. She never even got a traffic ticket. Wow, a warrant for what? Oh, for failure to pay a debt on a credit card? Oh, that's oh, I thought it was a real debt. I thought it was a real warrant. Oh, and it's just a civil warrant? Oh, that's fine. Where's the bond? What? Where's the bond? Here's the warrant. Great. Where's the bond? There needs to be a bond attached to this warrant. Where the fuck's the bond? Oh, I said, you've got to be shitting me. I know you know the law. Go back and get a fucking bond. You're not going to possibly think that you're in the same jurisdiction that you and I are in the same on the same part of planet Earth right now, do you? You don't possibly think that I'm in your jurisdiction. You do know when you crossed over that threshold and you entered into this property, you know you're into somebody. You're in my jurisdiction now, right? You know you're a guest here in my jurisdiction. You know you're under my control and authority, right? You know that, right? That piece of paper doesn't make you immune from any fucking prosecution on my behalf. You do know that, right? You do know that when you cross that threshold, you're in my world now, right? You're under my domestic authority. You're under my control. You do know that, and you're going to be a guest here, and you're going to act accordingly, right? Once you fuckers learn how to fucking speak and act like a man, you'll have no more fucking problems. And this was before the 3 years I spent in the law library. This was 2007. This was before I started writing that fucking dictionary. I knew how to fucking tell people in a hospital back in 2001, that's my fucking property sitting on the other side of that fucking wall. You touch my fucking property, I'm going to hold you personally liable. And I want to hold your supervisor liable for failing to train, discipline, and monitor you, dumbass. And then if you work for the state, I'm going after the fucking state and I'm going to pull its fucking charter until it gets its shit straight. You understand what I'm telling you, lady? Don't fuck with my property. Don't trespass. Don't fucking go near it. Don't even it exists. It doesn't even exist in your mind. Trust me, lady, you don't want to fuck.
Yeah, I believe you mentioned that there were 2 young bachelors, one black, one white.
Yep, one's name was Tanisha Felton, and one lady's name was Lisa Brown. The brown lady was the white woman, and Tanisha Felton was the black lady.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, man, as the years went by, my buddy who became a judge said every time somebody said the name Karl Lentz to Tanisha Felton, she'd fucking throw up. She'd get physically ill because she realized who she fucked with. And they told her, one day you're going to go to jail for fucking taking his kid. It's only a matter of time until he prosecutes you. And they say there's nothing we can do to stop him.
And see, that's the thing, is learning a lot of the terminology. And that's where I'm trying to focus right now, on getting my head out of statutes, ordinances, because
if that's what you want to believe, God bless you. But like I said, it's finished with that Tanisha Felon thing. She knows that they're going to throw her under the bus. She knows the state of Alabama is going to throw her up and say, have at it, call. She's the one you want, not us. She's the one who actually touched your property. She's the one who actually trespassed. She's the one that actually touched your fucking property. She's the one that actually put her hands on your baby.